Raise your standards. Start with yourself. Here's a hard truth. Most of us are not incapable. We're simply choosing to live at a good enough level. Good enough to get by. Good enough to avoid criticism. Good enough not to fall too far behind others. But good enough never creates a version of yourself you can truly be proud of. Raising your standards is not about being better than others. It's about no longer compromising with your own mediocrity. 1. Raise your thinking standards. Think differently. Every change begins with the way you think. When you set higher standards for your thoughts, you stop making excuses, procrastinating, or blaming circumstances. Quality thinking elevates your actions to a new level. And once your mindset changes, your life is forced to change with it. Raising your standards is not about creating pressure. It's about creating momentum. It is the decision not to live superficially, not to work carelessly, and not to let time pass without meaning. 2. Raise your action standards. Higher standards are not shown through words, but through what you do every day. Being punctual, completing responsibilities fully, and keeping promises even when no one is watching. These are clear signs of strong personal standards. When you act with discipline instead of emotion, you become more consistent. Feelings rise and fall, but principles remain. People who raise their action standards don't wait for motivation. They create it through commitment. 3. Raise your environment standards. Your environment directly shapes your thoughts and habits. Stay too long in a negative space, and you slowly become comfortable with stagnation and accept it as normal. On the other hand, when you intentionally choose a positive environment, growth-oriented people, valuable content, focused spaces, you naturally want to become better. A good environment won't do the work for you, but it will push you forward. 4. Raise yourself every day. You don't need massive change overnight. Raising your standards can start with very small steps. Sleeping a little earlier, learning something new daily, focusing more than you did yesterday. Small improvements as accumulated over time create major breakthroughs. What matters is not how much you change in a single day, but whether you are progressing consistently. If you commit to getting 1% better every day, after a year, you will become a completely different person. Your life always reflects the standards you accept. If you want higher results, you must set higher standards for yourself. Raising your standards is not about becoming perfect. It's about no longer living at the good enough level. And when you change your standards, your life will change with them. Wishing you success.